Hey, it's Tony talking car biz. Today, the 2024 Toyota Grand Highlander Platinum Edition. This is number 2 in the series on this one. So there's an exterior video, link at the end of this description. And this video, I'm going to go ahead and dive inside and check out the interior features on the Platinum Edition for 2024. Here we go. All right, let's get started on the driver's door. Just a couple unique features here on the Platinum Edition. First of all, the trim panel here, it's kind of a diamond embossed trim panel, gray. It's hard to see in this camera, in the lighting on the camera, but I think it looks pretty nice. They also use it over on the dashboard here and across the entire dashboard. Platinum Edition does come with the standard memory seat for 2 drivers. Power mirrors. We do have the auto on and off, or auto retracting mirrors, so you can set the mirrors up, these outside mirrors, so they fold in when you put it in park, or you can manually fold them in. They're power operated. Do have the power door locks, power windows, one touch them down on all 4s, power door lock lock. This is a padded armrest. It does have that light gray stitching in there. And then down here, one speaker. This has the JBL audio system. And then there's a bottle holder and a pocket there. This one has a reflector on the bottom door. They offer an upgrade for a puddle light there as well for I think $175 extra. That's an add-on feature. If you're interested, I did a video of that like last week. So down here on the threshold plate, you can see it does have the Grand Highlander embossed in the aluminum plate there. We do have dual power seats. The driver's seat has lumbar support, power lumbar support. The passenger seat does not. These are a combination leather and ultra suede, so super soft suede. You can see they're perforated, and that's because they're heated and ventilated. Really a nice, comfortable seat, kind of a dark gray leather with the black ultra suede. And then they are using the bronze stitching here as well. But a very comfortable seat. Height adjustable headrest, height adjustable seat belt, and then it does have side airbags. Those are going to be built right into the seat, so as you move the seat forward, the airbags move with you. Up on the dashboard, there's 4 vents like this, and you'll notice there's a bronze trim all the way around the vents. All 4 of them are that way. Also, trip reset, dimmer switch for your dash lights. Down here is the automatic high beam on and off, heated steering wheel. The 120 volt outlet, there's 2 of those in the back. I'll show you that later in the video. Power lift gate switch there. Down here there's a nice little storage cubby for your pocket change. Gas, hood release, dead pedal brake, and accelerator right where you'd expect them. The Platinum has a tilt telescoping steering wheel, but it's not a power steering tilt telescoping. I would have thought on the top of the line you'd see that. Let's go ahead and grab a seat. So obviously one of the big advantages on Grand Highlander versus the Highlander is space, interior space, passenger room. And this really does have a lot of room in here. You can see it has that panoramic moonroof with the visor there, but there's a lot of leg room, shoulder room, head room. Let's take a look at leg room for the driver. So I've got the seat all the way back. It does go up and back, up and down and back and such. It doesn't go back as far as I would have thought. I think if you're a 6-footer, you're going to be just fine, but I'm surprised by the amount of legroom. Is not quite as what I would have expected out of it. As far as the steering wheel, this is electric steering on the Grand Highlander. It's a leather wrap steering wheel. It's heated. There's an airbag, of course, and you can see they're using more of that bronze trim here. Cruise control settings are all on this side. Radio station controls, you can see it's all fingertip. And then over here are the controls for your information center, which is going to be up here. We'll look at that in a second. Bluetooth connectivity for your smartphone, voice activation, and your sound system settings here as well. It's interesting to me also that the Platinum Edition does have paddle shifters. So here's your upshift and your downshift is over there. But it surprised me to see that in here. Front washer wipers, rear washer wipers, and both of them do have intermittent, and they also have, you know, that auto sensing wiper as well. Over on this side, we've got our headlight controls. Again, we have auto on and auto off for the headlights, also auto high beams, and then our fog light controls are here as well. Let's go ahead and fire it up and take a look at the gauge cluster. So push button start down here, remote keyless fobs. Interesting, the back of it has that bronze color as well, so they're really bringing it all together. And as you can see, maybe there it does say Grand Highlander on there. So we want to make sure we've got our foot on the brake, hold the power button in, and away we go. Okay, you may have noticed that the engine started up right away on this one. That's not always going to happen. It just depends on how much battery power there is, and the system decides when it needs the gas engine and when it does not. Now, your gauge cluster is a full electronic gauge cluster, 12.3 inch. On the left hand side, we've got our energy monitoring system, our charge, eco, and power. We've got our fuel economy over here as well, and our odometer and trip meter. Up here, we've got some roadside assistance or roadside detection, so it does detect the speed limit and all that type of stuff. Digital speedometer, regular kind of speedometer over here, and your gas gauge is over on this side as well. So it's a good looking instrument cluster, and it has a whole bunch of different animations on there as well. If you're using your a multi-terrain select or your downhill assist or any of your off-road capabilities, it'll animate it up there. Now, the Platinum Edition does have heads-up display. I don't know if you can see it. The projector's down here, and you can see up on the windshield it's showing some information. Probably not so well in the video, but it does give you road signs, speed limits, compass, those types of things are projected up into the windshield. It's a nice feature to have. It's kind of some people really appreciate it, and you'd have to decide for yourself. I could care less about it, but it's there if you need it. This does have the JBL audio system, so it's upgraded with speakers up here in the A-pillars. It's a really good sound system, and there's also a subwoofer in the back. Let's take a look at our center stack. This is now all this hardware and software is now designed by Toyota, and so you'll notice there's only one switch on here, the on and off and the volume. Otherwise, everything else is a touch setup, and it's much more responsive than it was before, so much better system for that. I can only show you a couple of things on here because this one is sold and we don't want to mess with it for the first owner, but I wanted to show you the sound system. Let's go ahead and flip over here. Don't want that. I'm going to flip over to my sources and we'll just go to radio. So actually, let me go back there. So you can see it does have Apple CarPlay and Amazon, and it's Alexa compatible. It also has 4G connectivity, so that's a nice system. You can run your phone through there really easily, wirelessly if you want. But then we also have, as far as radio goes, we have Sirius satellite radio, AM, FM, of course. It's, what's the word I'm looking for? Can't think of it. High definition radio. You do get 3 months of the Platinum Edition subscription for Sirius XM, so it's a really good sound system. You'll just have to come in and give it a listen and judge for yourself. Down below there, this is going to be our heating and air conditioning controls. So first thing, we've got heated and ventilated seats up front. Those are the controls right there. We've got automatic temperature control up front for front driver and your front passenger, and this is a there's 3 different zones, so front driver, front passenger, and then the rear seat passengers have their own controls and own temperature adjustments back there. We do a front window defrost with front window de-icer, rear window defrost with heated outside mirrors, as I mentioned, rear climate control, and then over here are the heated seat and ventilated seat controls for the front passengers. So a lot of options on that. I like these ventilated seats. Those are pretty cool. I'm going to turn that on and switch all this over. Continuing down the center, you see more of that bronze trim. You see the stitched fabric dash. This is actually fabric up on the dash. Really nice. Moving further down, I'm just going to throw some light on down here so you can see everything pretty well. So 360 view. let's get into that. So 360 view, when I tap on that switch, it's going to give me a 360 degree scan of the perimeter of the vehicle. So I can look around to see if anything's behind my vehicle, in front of my vehicle, and then it's going to zoom out and give me an overhead view. All right, now with that, I also have a backup camera. I mentioned that, so I'm just going to shift it into reverse, and you can see the backup camera here, and then I have some different perspectives that I can set up there as well. So there's lots of different adjustments to set up my own preferences, but it's a pretty clear screen, pretty easy to see, and obviously it's much bigger, it's full color, so a real nice system as far as that goes. Let's head down further into the console here. So up here, this is just storage, and then over on this side is your wireless charging, so you just drop your phone on there and away you go. I noticed depending on the phone case you're using, it may not connect completely, so you might have to play with that a little bit to get it to work. Power switch to start, USB-C here, another one over here, more of that bronze trim, a couple of cup holders, a little storage down in there. Here's your transmission. Again, this is a traditional or conventional 6-speed automatic transmission, more of the bronze trim, kind of a short stubby little shifter because it really is just electronic. It doesn't actually move all that much, but kind of it almost feels like the old Prius size, and it does have some leather on there. It feels pretty nice in the hand. Down here we've got our parking brake control, parking brake hold, traction control on and off, and then here, which is kind of surprising to me, they've got Toyota's multi-terrain select, which is interesting. So you've got mud and sand, dirt and rock, normal mode, eco mode, sport mode, and every time you choose a selection here, I'm going to take you back up to the gauge cluster. So every time you choose a selection there, you get an animation up on the dashboard, depending on which one you're choosing. Hopefully you can see that in the camera. So there's mud and sand, rock and dirt, back to normal, and then also it'll change for eco and normal. So there's eco, economy mode, and then sport mode. So that's kind of cool. It's interesting to look at anyway. We also have snow mode, we have downhill assist mode, and then the armrest in the center console. This is all fabric through here, all stitched, padded, pretty nice, feels good. This doesn't open, it's more like a roll top desk, so it kind of rolls back into the armrest a little bit. See if I can throw some light down there so you can see. So it's pretty deep. There's a little odds and ends tray here, and then there's a 12-volt outlet down there as well. So it's really a lot of storage down through there. I like that about it. What you can't see from this side, although I'll try to point it out with my camera, is there's actually some storage down here. Hopefully you can see where I'm talking about, but there's a storage cubby. Glove box, nice size. It is a locking glove box. Little storage compartment up here, another USB-C over here, and then your standard power windows door locks, JBL speaker up there. I'll give you a look at these seats over here on the passenger side as well. Passenger assist grip, lighted vanity mirrors, sliding visors, and then the panel moonroof. There's a let's see, the visor you do right here really opens it up, gives it a lot of extra light in here. And that back panel, that's fixed, but the front one can be opened. So there's a switch right here to tilt it up, and then there's a switch right here to slide it back, so you can open it up. Pretty nice. I like that a lot. We do have some lights here for reading lights. There's your roadside assistance safety connect. You get stuck out on the road, that Toyota will get you the help you need. We also have a sunglass holder right here, and then this Platinum Edition has the very top of the line rear view mirror, which has a lot of tech. So garage door openers, and then it's a traditional day-night mirror, but if you flip it up like this, it becomes like a screen, like a monitor. So now it's using one of the cameras in the back tailgate to be able to see out the back of the vehicle. Comes in really handy if you have people in the back seats, like kids back there, and they've got all their stuff and their heads are in the way and you can't see out the back. You flip this and it uses the camera so you can see behind you. Really cool feature, standard on the Platinum Edition. So that's a quick look up front. Well, quick 10-minute, 12-minute look up front. There's a lot on this vehicle. So let's go ahead and jump in the back seat and check that out. So here's a quick look up front from the back seat. You can see it really is pretty darn spacious up there. This is definitely a bigger vehicle than the Highlander, and that pano moonroof, like I said, it gives a lot of extra light in here. I strongly recommend getting it. It's standard on the Platinum Edition and optional on others. Down on the center console here, go ahead and turn that down a little bit so you can see this. So heated and ventilated seat controls for your back passengers here, automatic temperature control here, USB-C here and here, and then a 120 volt way down here. So lots of places to plug stuff in, and the backseat passengers can be very comfortable. Also, they have pockets on the backs of both of these seats. I want to go ahead and show you the leg room. Got really nice leg room. The seat's probably about 3/4 of the way back, so you can see still lots of leg room back here. Here's an interesting feature I discovered the other day. This center piece here, again, more of that bronze, cup holders, places to set your phones and your tablets in here. But what's really cool about this is it's actually removable. There's a little latch up underneath here, and if you pull up on the latch, you can actually take that out of there, like so. So just a little something I learned kind of tinkering around in here. So you've got room now if you need to run stuff up through here. People want to kind of scoot through here. But moreover, if it gets dirty, you can take it in the house and give it a good cleaning. So I do like the fact that that pops out of there like that. And then it just goes right back down. Pretty simple, pretty easy to use. There's your back seats, passenger assist grip, vents, and lights back here. And then they do have the shades. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So here's the shades. So these windows do have tinted privacy glass on there, but if you have a little one sitting where I am, this can be helpful to help give them some additional protection from the sun. And then down here we've got kind of storage cubbies, bottle holders, speakers, those types of things. Let's check out the third row. So jumping into the back seat, I do have to say the door is pretty wide open, so easy to get in that from that perspective. And this threshold is extra wide, so definitely can get your foot on there. The back seats, it's kind of the same way it was on the Highlander. So it's not a push button. There's no power to make these drop down. There's a release handle up here, and you pull up on that, and then that folds that seat forward, and then you just kind of push it forward to be able to access in through the back area. Now, once you get back here, it's pretty darn good room back here, actually. You notice there's cup holders, there's a USB-C port, there's vents, lights back here. These seats do recline back, so you can lean back in them. They're not heated, they're not ventilated, they're leather, they're perforated. Actually, scratch that. I don't know if these are leather. They might be vinyl. Sometimes Toyota in the back will make these vinyl. I'll have to look into it, but they are very comfortable. There's 3 seat belts back here, and I think if you're under, say, 5'9", I think you're going to be able to sit back here. I'm 5'7". I know I could ride back here on a trip, even an extended trip. There's also some speakers right here. This is interesting. So the USB-C, and then I think there's a speaker in there. Cup holders over here. Vents and lights in the back seat as well. So it's definitely an improvement over the Highlander. If you're going to have people in the third row a lot, this might be the way to go. A Grand Highlander does come standard with the power lift gate. A couple features on the lift gate that I think are good. There's a speaker in here. There's LED lights here. I've never seen Toyota do that. And over on here, same thing. So it pops up nice and high. It's going to be great for tailgate parties. Good music, good lighting. Should be good for that. Nice flat floor back here. There's definitely more room back here than there was on the Highlander. Here's that subwoofer I mentioned earlier for the JBL audio system. 120 volt power outlet, so you can put your crock pot or your Nesco there. There's tie down hooks here. Cargo nets are available. Cargo cover is standard. That's going to be underneath here. There's your cargo cover, your jack, a little storage cubby. So lots of places to put stuff. There's an LED light here, cargo light. Of course, those back seats, they're going to fold down. I don't like the way it works. You have to grab this, kind of have to push it forward. If you have short arms, it might not be easy. And then they drop down. I wish that was just one push a button and away it goes. Lots of room once you do that. Notice I've got 60% over here. So if I go ahead and do the same thing here, boom, there's a tremendous amount of space. Definitely room for a single air mattress if you want to do an overnight camp trip. I'd have to measure this. I don't know if it's 4 feet wide, but I bet you it's 8 feet long. I'll measure it and let you know. But you can see a lot of cargo room in there. And then to get these seats back up, again, I don't care for this, but whatever. Kind of pull back on this. Then you got to bring it back like this, and you got to bring your headrest up. So if you have short arms, it might be a little challenging, but I'm confident you can get it done. So that's the interior overview on this 2024 Grand Highlander Platinum Edition. Hey, if you like this video, go ahead and hit that thumbs up. Feel free to share it out. And then be sure and watch for a link at the end of this video on the exterior overview. I'll see you in the next video.